Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video on the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. This foundation I've seen being talked about on YouTube for quite some time now, and I wanted to give it a try out myself. The foundation comes in 5 different shades and it ranges from an F100 to an F500. The F100 starts at about an NC25 and then it goes up to about an NC45. I am NC20 and I knew that going into this, but I still just wanted to give it a try and see if I can make it work. I was just really intrigued by this foundation because it was geared specifically towards olive and yellow undertones, and I find that one of the hardest things to do while trying to find a foundation that works best for you is the undertone. I am wearing the foundation right now and so far I'm really happy with it. I think it's a really great foundation. This foundation costs about $17 on lookfantastic.com, but I got mine for around $14. I did have a 20% off coupon, so it is a fairly inexpensive foundation. The company states that this foundation contains light diffusers in the product, so it detracts from any imperfections on your face, like fine lines or wrinkles or any other problematic areas that you may have. The company doesn't make any claims about longevity with this foundation, but in the clip you'll see later on, I think it held up pretty well and I was really happy with how it looked 6 hours later. Another aspect that intrigued me about this foundation was that it is 100% oil free, so that really drew me in because I am clog prone, so if you are oily skin or tend to get clogged pores from foundations, I would definitely give this one a shot. The packaging of this foundation is really nice as well. It's clear so you can see how much you've used up, and it also has the rose gold on the top and the bottom, and a really nice thing about this is that it has a pump, so it is fairly sanitary. I should also mention that this foundation does not contain any SPF, so if you're looking for a foundation that will photograph nicely, this is a good one to try because it won't flash back in pictures. I'm actually going to insert a picture with the flash taken with this foundation on. So as you can see, it does photograph nicely. It doesn't give you any flashback or give you a white cast over your face. So that's about it for now. I'm going to jump right into the demo so you can see how the foundation applies and see how it wears throughout the day. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 different methods to apply this foundation. I'm going to use a damp beauty blender, and I'm also going to use an angled kabuki by Sigma. This is an F84. So I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. I'm going to use about a pump and a half. I'll start with the beauty blender. So far it seems to be a nice lightweight formula. The coverage is light to medium, but I feel like once I add a second layer it will be fairly buildable. Also with the beauty blender, it sucks up a lot of the excess product, so you're not overdoing it with the foundation, and that's why I like using a beauty blender most of the times to apply my foundation. It's really easy to apply. It blends really nicely. Okay, so that is with 1/2 of my face applied with a light thin layer with the beauty blender. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the Sigma F84 to cover the other half of my face. The brush is providing a heavier coverage, but it still feels really lightweight. Again, it's a nice smooth application. It's not really fussy to work with. It blends into the skin really nicely. Okay, so here you have one thin layer of the product. I think it blends in really nicely. I think I prefer applying it with the Beauty Blender. It just seems like it gives a more flawless finish. With the kabuki brush, it's a little bit heavier. Not that it looks cakey, it just, with the Beauty Blender, it glides on really nicely. And like I said, with the Beauty Blender soaking up that extra product, you could still see your natural skin show through, but the product is covering your imperfections really nicely. Neither side is tacky, so it dries rather quickly, but it's not fussy to work with. Like I said, you're not struggling to hurry up and blend the product into your face. It just is a really nice, smooth application, and so far I'm really liking it. I'm gonna let this set just for a little bit more, and then I'm gonna apply another layer to see how buildable it is. Okay, now I'm gonna go back. I am having a little bit of a breakout in this area. There's a little bit of redness showing through with the foundation still, so I wanna build this up and see how it covers my problematic areas. It still feels really lightweight, and it doesn't feel like I'm packing on a ton of product, so it is really comfortable on the skin. And I'm just going to apply some more with the kabuki brush. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but the shade is a little bit too dark for me, I feel. I have no self tanner on, and my tan from the summer has faded, but unfortunately this is the lightest shade and it is just a bit too dark for me, but I'll see if I can play around and make it work. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm really liking it. I think it was an easy application. Like I said earlier, I do really enjoy the application with the Beauty Blender. Not that the kabuki brush is difficult to apply it with, I just like the finish that the Beauty Blender gives. It kind of gives you more of an airbrush effect. On the side of my face that I use the kabuki, it does just look just a tad bit heavier, nothing dramatic. It doesn't look cakey or anything. It just doesn't look as much like skin as the side with the Beauty Blender looks, if that makes any sense. I don't see it settling into any fine lines or pores at the moment, but I'm gonna finish my makeup and see how it's holding up, and then I'll check back a few hours later to give you an update of how it's wearing throughout the day. Okay, I'm back with my makeup completed, and I did go in and I added some concealer to areas of my face that tend to get more red throughout the day than others, definitely around my nose and around my chin. I also concealed my clogged pores that I have at the moment. They are a little bit red, so I added a translucent powder on top of all of that like I would any other day. I'm not noticing it settling into any fine lines or pores. Usually my foundations, shortly after I apply them, will settle into my fine lines. This one isn't doing that yet, so I'll see how it lasts throughout the day and see if it settles later on. I also tend to get some separation after I add my concealer around my chin. Throughout the day, my foundation will separate, and I do have to touch it up with powder, so I'll test that as well. I do just wish they had one shade lighter than the one that I'm using. I'm using the lightest shade, F100, but it is just a little bit too dark. The website did state that it was for NC25, so I will have to self-tan or something like that. I do just wish they made one more shade lighter just for NC15 to NC20. But other than that, so far so good. I'm going to wear this throughout the day and check back in a few hours to see how it's holding up. Okay, I have you zoomed in. I'm in my bathroom right now, so I apologize if it's a bit echoey, but I just wanted to zoom in, and it is pretty dark out right now, but it's about 6 hours later. I just wanted you guys to see an up close of what the foundation looks like. It is starting to separate just a little bit around my nose area and my chin, like I mentioned I had a problem with before. It still is covering my little clog prone self pretty well at the moment. I don't really see any discoloration popping through or redness, but like I said, it is starting to separate around my nose. But it's not really, it's settling into my smile lines just a little bit, but really not all that bad. And I don't really find it settling into my pores either. I think it still looks pretty smooth. It hasn't moved around my face much, just around my nose and my mouth area, but that is to be expected, I think. But overall, I think the foundation still looks really nice and really, I wouldn't say flawless still, but it really still gives you the appearance of a nice radiant complexion. So there you have it, my overall first impressions of the EX1 Liquid Wear Foundation. I think it would work well with most skin types. I have dry skin and I didn't find it accentuating my dryness, but because it's oil free, I think it will also work beautifully with those with normal to combination to oily skin. I was really pleased with the longevity of the foundation. Even 6 hours later, my skin looked really radiant and the foundation hadn't moved around my face too much. I would highly recommend this foundation if you have yellow or olive skin tones. I think it's a lovely foundation. It's fairly inexpensive and I think it would work with a lot of skin types. So if you tried this foundation or you plan on trying this foundation, leave a comment in the section below and let me know what you thought about it. Also, if you have any questions that I didn't address in this video, leave that down below as well and I'll be sure to answer all your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!